Hey everybody, it's Aaron at Warmoth, and today I'm going to talk about myself, which is something I don't normally do on the Warmoth channel for obvious reasons, but over the last month of these home videos, I've gotten so many questions. I just figured I would take one day and go through them all and then talk about what it's like to work for Warmoth at the end. Well, the first question that I've gotten is this mug. This mug has been like the ring from The Hobbit, where it's this, I thought it was this inconsequential thing, and then all of a sudden it's become the main character. This mug comes from Clay in Motion. Clay in Motion, you're welcome. I accept PayPal, so get in contact with me. Yeah, I got this mug on vacation one time, and I love it. Now, I love it so much I got another one just like it, but I'll warn you that you don't want to microwave them. I microwaved something in the other one, and as I was pulling it out, it exploded in my hand and cut my hand all up. So don't put them in the microwave. But other than that, cool mugs. I've had this thing for a decade, and I use it all the time. So about me. I was born in '68. I'm 52 years old. I did the high school band thing. Of course, I grew up in the 80s. So all that 80s rock is just my wheelhouse, as is obvious from all the LPs that I put up on the wall, and the fact that I even own LPs to begin with. Van Halen, Scorpions, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, all that stuff. The Police, anything from the 80s. Of course, I have a huge eclectic taste in music, but the 80s is where I cut my teeth, and I will always have a soft spot for that. I did the high school band thing. Played in some original bands. As I've gone through life, I've always written, and songwriting is really where my strength is, and that's kind of my wheelhouse. I spent many years writing country songs for the Nashville scene, going back and forth between Nashville and pitching songs. I wrote I've written lots of original music, rock music, or just weird music. Probably one of my best songwriting stories is from the first time that I got a cut in Nashville. Of course, I had been sending demos and going back and forth, and was desperate to just have somebody cut one of my songs. And I remember I was in Hendersonville at a studio there, and I was meeting with a publisher and playing them cassette tapes of my songs. And down the hall, there were some guys recording in one of the rooms, and didn't think much of it at first. But as things went on, I started to recognize that they were recording one of my songs. And at first I couldn't believe it, but it became obvious as I listened closer, and I finally just had to stop the meeting and say, you know what? They're playing one of my songs down there. And so the publisher took me down there, and we went in the room, and he introduced me to all the guys, and like, here's the guy that wrote this song, and everybody there was super nice. And of course, I was just so excited. I was shaking. Who could have, predicted that moment that I would happen to be there at that time? But there was an artist there who had heard one of my songs and was cutting it. So that's the story of my first song recorded in Nashville. I've subsequently had lots of others recorded, but never by anybody that has broken huge. I'm still waiting for that lightning strike. But, hope springs eternal. Maybe it'll happen someday. In the meantime, I've always continued to write and record. About 10 years ago, I started doing the tribute band thing. And I've been I was the Malcolm in an AC/DC tribute for 5 years. I was the Tom Schultz in a Boston tribute for 7 years. I am currently the Matthias / Michael Schenker / Uli Roth in a Scorpions tribute that's 7 years and going strong. And I am currently the Richie in a Bon Jovi tribute that's about 3 years into it. And have so much fun doing that. My bands have played all over the western half of the United States, and it has been a blast. I'm so sad that it looks like there's going to be very little performance time this year. But I love all my bandmates, and we're working on original material in this downtime. So that's kind of my musical life. My day jobs, I was the marketing guy for a fine jewelry company for 25 years. So I'm an expert when it comes to gold and diamonds and and fine gemstones and how jewelry is made. And then about 2013, that all came to an end, and I was unemployed for a few months. And during that time, I kept a spreadsheet of all the places I applied to. It ended up being like 330 places, and I ended up getting hired at the very first place I applied to, which was Warmoth. I went in for an interview. I originally had applied to be a customer service rep. Somehow I ended up on the phone with Ken, and he was looking for somebody to write content for the website. So I submitted some of my writing and really talked up my marketing background, and that's what I ended up getting hired for. That first phone call with Ken was, I'll never forget, because Ken is just such a practical, salt of the earth kind of guy, and he wasn't even at work when I talked to him. He was at home spraying his eaves for yellow jackets. And so I'm really nervous and like hopeful that I'm going to get the job. And he's just like, yeah, these yellow jackets are driving me crazy, and I'm spraying them. And anyway, I'll never forget that phone call. So anyway, got hired at Warmoth. I'm writing for the website, and you know, basically I just at some point started making videos with a cell phone. And if you look at some of our earliest videos, you can tell they're pretty primitive. And Warmoth just kind of let me grow into that position. You know, I trained myself on the job, and eventually when they saw how many viewers we were getting and stuff, they helped me to foster the channel, and we created the room that we shoot in now. They got me the gear to make better and better videos, and now, you know, and now I'm doing it at home. But yeah, I mean, working at Warmoth, people always ask me what's it like to work for Warmoth, and of course I can't speak for every position because I haven't worked most of them. I can only tell you what my experience has been, and it has been fantastic. The job I have at Warmoth is a dream job. They never hesitate to give me the things I need to do quality work. They never put, you know, restrictions on what I can say on camera. When I do shootouts, I do the shootout and I say what I think, and they never balk at that. They pretty much give me free rein, and it's been fantastic. Warmoth is a great company. Now, of course, if I were king of Warmoth, are there things I would do differently? Yeah, but that's true of every job. The people steering the Warmoth ship know what they're doing. The company is in fantastic shape. Everybody here is trying to make the best product they can. It's the culture at Warmoth is very team oriented, very positive. It's not one of those places where you feel micromanaged or browbeat. It's just very positive. I just can't say enough good things about working for Warmoth, and I know that sounds kiss-uppy, but that's the vibe at Warmoth. It's just a great place to work. I think they make a great product, and hopefully I will be here for a long time. And I think, one other thing that people ask me about all the time, what I record with. I record with Reaper primarily. I have other DAWs, but I use Reaper the most. For the drums, I use Superior Drums 3. I have lots of amps, but when I'm recording at home, I just use my Atomic Amplifier 6. It's so easy and sounds great. What else? I think, I master with Isotope Ozone 9. I think that's it. Hopefully I answered all those personal questions, and next week I can get back to playing guitars and, you know, talking about guitar stuff. So yeah, happy Friday. Take care over the weekend. And as always, wash your hands, be kind, and keep on picking.